Yo, Broncos country, stop everything you're doing, because today's talk is one of those that'll make your orange and blue heart beat faster. Picture this. It's the fourth quarter, game tied, third down in the red zone, and Bo Nix throws a laser over the defense. Who's there, flying to make the grab and diving into the end zone? Evan Engram, the new tight end for our Denver Broncos, ready to flip the game. This guy's coming in hot to be the difference maker we've been missing on offense. So gear up, family, because we're diving deep into what this signing means, why Engram is set for a redemption season, and how he could take our team to the next level. Y'all with me? Then huddle up and let's break this play down. All right, Broncos fam, time to hit the field and analyze this move. The big buzz around Mile High is the arrival of Evan Engram, our new tight end, signed to a 2-year, $23 million deal. And he's no average player. We're talking about a 2-time Pro Bowler with reliable hands and speed that makes linebackers look like tackling dummies. But before we start lighting fireworks, let's look at where he's coming from, what went down last season, and why this signing could be a touchdown in Coach Sean Payton's grand strategy. Engram's no rookie, a first-round pick by the New York Giants in the 2017 draft. He's already proven what he can do. In 2023 with the Jaguars, he had a mind-blowing season. 114 catches, 963 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Yep, 114 receptions, the second most ever by a tight end in a single NFL season. He was that guy defenses couldn't stop, running crisp routes, finding holes in the zone, and turning short passes into explosive gains. But then 2024 hit and things got rough. Shoulder and tendon injuries limited him to just 9 games with 47 catches, 365 yards, and 1 touchdown. Solid numbers for a guy who barely played, but far from what we know he's capable of. The good news? Engram is fully healed, fired up, and ready to prove 2024 was just a stumble. So what does this mean for us Broncos fans? It means we got an elite talent with something to prove, and the right mindset to fit in our locker room. Engram describes himself as a cleaner, a guy who shows up in clutch moments, solves problems, and delivers. And here in Denver, where the altitude makes opponents gasp for air, he's ready to be the guy who makes the difference. Let's be real, family. Our 2024 offense was solid, but had gaps. Bo Nix, our second-year quarterback, played like a vet, throwing for 3,175 yards, 29 touchdowns, and taking us to the playoffs with a 10-7 record. That's something to be proud of. But the passing game had its limitations, especially at tight end. Our TEs combined for just 455 yards all season, less than 26 individual tight ends across the league. And on third down conversions? Even worse, our tight ends had just a 12% success rate when targeted. That's a problem when you're going up against defenses like the Chiefs or Chargers who live off pressuring the QB and forcing mistakes. What were we missing? A playmaker in the middle of the field. Someone Bo Nix could trust, someone who could open up the field for Courtland Sutton on the outside, and someone who'd give opposing defenses a headache. Sean Payton, our offensive wizard, knew that. He's been talking for a year about finding a joker, a versatile player who can line up at tight end, in the slot, or even in the backfield, creating mismatches and wrecking defensive schemes. Engram is that guy. At 6'3", 240 lbs, he's got the size to block when needed and the speed of a wideout to explode after the catch. Payton already said Engram is a passing threat on third downs and in the red zone. Translation, get ready to watch this man cook in Denver. Now let's talk about how Engram fits into our offense, because this is where it gets exciting. Bo Nix proved in 2024 that he's the future of this franchise. He reads defenses with veteran calm, escapes the pocket when needed, and delivers tight window throws with precision. But he needs weapons, and Engram is exactly the kind of weapon who can turn a good offense into a dominant one. During OTAs, the two already started building chemistry. Engram said he had lunch with Bo during his free agent visit and was impressed. The way he commands the huddle, stays calm under pressure, and improvises while keeping his eyes downfield. This kid has something special, Engram said. Broncos country, when a guy like Engram is already buying into our QB, that's a sign something big is brewing. On the field, Engram will be the number 2 target behind Courtland Sutton, but don't be surprised if he leads the team in catches. Why? Because Sean Payton's scheme loves attacking the middle with short and intermediate routes, and Engram thrives there. He converted 47% of his third down targets in his last healthy season. compared to just 12% for our TEs in 2024. That's a 300% plus improvement. On third and medium, 4-7 yards, he's deadly, finding zone gaps and running razor-sharp routes. And in the red zone, expect Engram to become Bo Nix's best friend. He's big enough to win one-on-ones against linebackers and agile enough to shake off safeties. But Engram isn't just here to catch passes. He's going to change the entire dynamic of our offense. With Courtland Sutton pulling double coverage outside, Engram lining up in the slot or at tight end will force defenses into tough decisions. Want to double Sutton? Then Engram will torch the linebacker over the middle. Want to use a nickel corner on Engram? Good luck. He's strong enough to bully DBs and rack up yards after the catch. And with Marvin Mims Jr., Devon Vell, Troy Franklin, and rookie Pat Bryant stretching the field, defenses will be spread thin, and Engram and Bo will exploit every gap. PAYTON's system also thrives on pre-snap motion, jet sweeps, play action, 2 TE sets, and Engram is a perfect fit. He can line up in the slot, backfield, or as an H-back, keeping defenses guessing. That opens up running lanes, especially in read option plays with Bo Nix or draws with our RBs. And speaking of the run game, Engram's an underrated blocker. He's not a bulldozer like a classic inline TE, but he's solid enough to open holes and protect Bo in passing situations. Broncos fans, think about it. A more dynamic offense, more options, more explosiveness, more scoring. Who's loving this? Drop it in the comments. Now let's keep it real, family. It's not all perfect. Engram is coming off an injury-riddled season, including shoulder surgery in December 2024. That's a red flag. We need him healthy for all 17 games and hopefully the playoffs. The good news? He's participating fully in OTAs, running routes with that 2023 burst, and proving the tank's still full. At 30, he's not a young buck, but guys like Travis Kelce and George Kittle have shown that tight ends can dominate well into their 30s. Engram's motivated, calling himself the cleaner, saying he wants to leave it all on the field in Denver. That's the kind of mindset that fits this fan base: hungry, passionate, and always pushing for more. Another bonus, this signing gives GM George Paton more flexibility in the draft. With Engram locked in for 2 years, we're not desperate for a TE in the first round. That frees us up to target a DT to beef up the line or a RB to balance the offense. But if a talent like Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren falls to pick 20, don't be surprised if Paton wants to build a dynamic TE duo. Imagine Engram and a young stud tearing up the field. That'd be a nightmare for defenses. Broncos fans, now it's your turn. What do y'all think of this signing? Think Engram bounces back to his 2023 form and leads the team in receiving yards? Or are you worried about injuries? And how do you see him fitting into Sean Payton's system? Could he become Bo Nix's go-to guy in the red zone? Drop your predictions in the comments. This family always brings the best takes. And while we're at it, who do you think benefits most from Engram's arrival? Courtland Sutton, who might see less double coverage? Or Bo Nix, who finally has a reliable target over the middle? Let's debate. Broncos country, if you're as hyped as I am about Evan Engram coming in to fire up this offense, then it's time to really join the family. Smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and ride with us through every analysis, every play, every epic moment of this season. We're the loudest, most passionate, most united fan base in the NFL, and this channel is your home to shout loud for our Denver Broncos. Subscribe, bring your crew, and let's make Mile High shake together. My take, fam? Evan Engram isn't just a signing. He's a statement to the rest of the league. Sean Payton is saying the Broncos aren't here to play in 2025. With Bo Nix evolving, Engram as a deadly weapon, and an offensive scheme that'll leave defenses spinning, I believe this offense can be top 10 in the league. My bold prediction: Engram finishes the season with 85 catches, 900 yards, and 7 touchdowns. What about y'all? Think he hits 1,000 yards, or could injuries get in the way? Let's talk in the comments. Broncos country, we're just getting started.